Well, at least he fell down those steps far more convincingly than either Martin Balsam or William H. Macy. Jesse Shade here for Awfully Good Movies on behalf of the JoBlo YouTube network. And in between the two Psycho sequels of the 80s and the Psycho remake of the 90s, there was one final follow-up to Hitchcock's horror classic that would go straight to television on the Showtime network, which would serve as both prequel and sequel, but also ignore the events of Psychos 2 and 3, where Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates confesses to his crimes over the line of a talk radio show, as well as relating his origin story back in the 40s and 50s, where he's played in Flashback by a post-E.T. Henry Thomas. Yet this underwhelming finale is still a guilty pleasure thanks to Anthony Perkins' poignant final performance as Norman Bates, as well as the recently departed Olivia Hussey's gleefully unhinged performance as his beloved Mrs. Bates, and also being lovingly shot at Universal Studios Florida, which in 2025 is starting to kill its customers as much as the Bates Motel. So let us flash back to my review of what would somehow be not the only sequel to a Hitchcock classic in the 90s that would air on the Showtime network, in this Hitchcockian episode of Awfully Good Movies. Over the 6 movies he's directed so far, Darren Aronofsky has proven to be one of the most provocative directors working today, and he's just proved it again with his latest movie, as Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem get their lives interrupted by a pair of unwelcome guests in the psychological horror flick, Mother. And with the movie earning divisive reviews, this flick has both delighted Aronofsky's most devout fans and confused just about everyone else. As for me, I haven't been able to see the movie, so I'm just gonna have to find out for myself why the reveal over this movie's plot has left people so pissed off. Oh, let's see a clip.
His musical based on the life of Mother Teresa. Mother.
Food! I love food and I'm really in the mood!
Wow, now I understand what the fuss is about. That looks terrible! That Jennifer Lawrence has got some voice on her though. But when it comes to horror movies about mothers, everyone knows who's the baddest mother of them all.
Oh God, Mother! Blood! Blood!
Yes, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho remains the crowning achievement for the master of suspense, turning a trashy horror story about a crazy motel manager killing women dressed as his dead mom into one of the greatest movies ever made, with that legendary shower scene still being parodied to this day. And since this was the movie that helped influence the slasher genre, it's surprising that it took 23 years for Universal to want to make a Psycho sequel. 3 Psycho sequels, to be exact. And though Psycho 2 was a surprisingly decent follow-up that was a hit at the box office, Psycho 3 would bomb with both critics and audiences, leading us to the 4th and final installment from 1990, Psycho 4, The Beginning. But this time, Norman Bates got downgraded to the TV screen, with the film premiering exclusively on Showtime. Yeah, suck on that, HBO. You may have your Emmy-winning original movies that are arguably better than most movies released in theaters, but we here at Showtime have the 3rd sequel to a movie that no one needed sequels to in the first place. So fuck you! However, this installment of the series was the only one written by the screenwriter of Hitchcock's original Psycho, Joseph Stefano, and it was directed by Mick Garris, who's helped direct a shitload of Stephen King adaptations, and co-wrote Hocus Pocus. Plus, when I first discovered the Psycho movies as a kid, I remember really liking Psycho 4. So let us see if I'll still feel that way after I rewatch it. And before you ask, yes, I did consider reviewing the Gus Van Sant remake of Psycho, but I don't think I'd have too much to say about that one. Hell, I'll give it a shot anyway. Here goes! The Psycho remake is exactly like the original Psycho, except it's in color, and Norman Bates is played by Dave Matthews. And there's a scene where Norman Bates becomes Master Bates. And there are also shots of goats in the middle of the road. That's it. I give it a blank out of 10. Also Viggo Mortensen's ass. Sit, JoBlo, sit. Good dog. So we open during the broadcast of a radio talk show led by host Fran Ambrose, played by CCH Pounder, with her producers watching from the recording booth. And holy shit, that's John Landis. Well, hey, it makes sense. He's always getting movie directors to cameo in his movies, so time to pay the fucking piper, John, because your directing output for the rest of this decade is going to suck. The subject of tonight's show happens to be matricide.
That's what they call murdering your mother.
And who would know better about that subject than the man once referred to by Old Dirty Bastard as
Psycho Killer Norman Bates,
played once again by Anthony Perkins, who's once again out of the mental hospital and looks to be finally getting his life back on track. He's moved away from the Bates Motel and into the suburbs. He's now married to a nurse he met in the hospital, and today happens to be his birthday. But when he calls into the radio show using a false name, he tells Fran that he's going to return to his psychotic ways.
Are you saying you killed your mother, Ed?
Oh, I've killed before. And now I'm gonna have to do it again.
By that, I mean I'm going to kill my career by doing another fucking Psycho sequel! For God's sake, Universal Studios, stop abusing Alfred Hitchcock's corpse like this! He's already dead! Before he does that, though, he flashes back to the early 50s, when he killed his first victim after he'd killed off his mother, back when he was a young lad, played by Little Elliot himself, Henry Thomas.
Well, is it a good smell?
Not inordinately.
After I'm through with you, buddy, you're gonna be calling me penis breath.
Elliot!
So by now you found out that this Psycho sequel is partially a Psycho prequel as well, as Norman begins to relay the story of his relationship with his widowed mother, Norma Bates, played by Olivia Hussey.
What about your father? How'd you feel about him?
He died when I was 6. He was stung to death by bees. They stung his eyes, his nostrils, even the insides of his mouth.
My mother always kept telling him to stop playing around that beehive with that Macaulay Culkin kid, but he never listened to her.
And where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses.
And after his father's death, Norman is now the man of the house, helping to run her mother's fledgling motel.
She depended on me, especially when she was scared. She was scared to death of thunder and lightning.
Man, you gotta feel bad for Norman. The poor kid had to run a motel at age 15 and be his mom's thunder buddy.
Fuck you, Thunder! You can suck my dick!
But as you can imagine, having to strip down to your skivvies and hug your mom in bed makes Norman feel a tad sexually confused, and it certainly doesn't help that his mom is prone to having fits of schizophrenic hysteria.
You're gonna forget once and for all about that filthy thing of yours! That should help you forget it. See? Ha! Girl. Yes, girl. Mama's little girl.
Yes, Norman, you should know a thing or two about dressing like a woman, hanging around that whore E.T. all the time.
Here, take this. You'll probably have to make wee-wee.
Repeat after me. Wee wee.
That's all that thing of yours is for, making wee-wee.
Say it again!
Plus, it doesn't help that Norma has found herself a new man named Chet. And in the tradition of movie characters named Chet, he too is a giant turd who picks on his twerpy new family member.
You're not a girl, are you? You know, she said you wasn't too badly hung either.
Shut up!
You got knocked the fuck out!
Meanwhile, Ambrose and her crew are listening away to Norman's origin story over the airwaves. And since Norman's former doctor is a guest on tonight's show, he lets the radio show crew know the real identity of this caller who calls himself Ed.
I'm convinced we've been talking to Norman Bates.
The guy who turned himself into his mother?
Give me a break.
Any threat that Norman Bates makes must be taken very seriously.
Yes, you're right. And there's only one person who knows how to talk to psychos on the radio. Get me Alex Jones.
Norman Bates became a cross-dresser because of the fluoride Obama put in the water supply!
So here we have a television prequel to Psycho that hit the airwaves 2 decades before Bates Motel did. But Farrah Farmiga has got nothing on the utterly bonkers performance that Olivia Hussey gives here. Her portrayal of Norma Bates somehow manages to out-psycho Norman Bates in this movie.
I should have killed you in my womb. I was fine until I gave birth to you. You caused a lot of damage. Because of you, my bladder's damaged. I can't hold my water. That's why I'm always running to the toilet. Did you know that?
I'm sorry, what is with this woman's obsession with piss? Let's get her in a 3-way with Donald Trump and R. Kelly so that she can get the ultimate golden shower. However, I don't mean to slight the two actors playing Norman Bates. Henry Thomas is a pitch-perfect choice to play the teenage Norman, and Anthony Perkins is able to keep finding new dimensions to this character even when he's 4 movies in. It's heartbreaking to see Norman come so close to finally living a normal life, but finding himself still haunted by his mother and planning to kill his wife because of a shocking revelation.
What did she do that she should pay for it with her life?
She let herself get pregnant.
Crap. If this means we're gonna get Son of Psycho starring Jamie Kennedy, then by all means, Norman, kill your pregnant wife! But no, there would not be any more Psycho sequels, as Anthony Perkins would die 2 years after this movie from AIDS, which gives this movie a poignant undertone. We're seeing the character of Norman Bates say farewell to his haunted past, but we're also seeing Anthony Perkins say farewell to the character of Norman Bates. Plus, bringing back the writer of the first Psycho really helps things, even though his script completely ignores all that stuff from the last 2 movies about Norma Bates turning out to be Norman's adoptive mother, and how Norma's sister is actually Norman's mom. Whatever, I don't mind skipping over that. Because let's admit it, we didn't need any more movies after the original Psycho. But since we did get some sequels, I'm glad that this is the note that they ended on. It may be cheesy and campy, and not nearly on the level of Hitchcock. But considering all the unnecessary horror movie prequels out there, which end up taking away the mystery from famous movie monsters that makes them scary in the first place, this flick feels like a breath of fresh air that ends up being worth a watch. And thankfully, Hollywood has stopped that short-lived trend of making prequels to classic horror movies, even though no one asked for them. Oh, come on! Toby Hooper literally just died, you greedy son of a bitches!
Just stop it. Stop. No. Just stop it.
A boy's best friend may be his mother, but a boy's favorite drink is usually beer. So let's hop in the shower and play the awfully good drinking game. Take a shot or drink every time we cut back to Norman's flashback to the 50s or Norman in present day.
Mother, please, Mother. Please, God, don't let her leave me here.
Please, Mother.
And am I the only one who thinks this movie's plot structure was ripped off by Joe Dirt? I don't know, maybe I'm alone here, but I really think the makers of Psycho 4 might have a case here. You better lawyer the fuck up, David Spade, because we'll be seeing you in court!
You do it again, I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
One of Norman's victims comes back to life. Oh look, let's give Norman a break. He was new at this whole killing thing when he was a teenager. But still, if you need to make sure the body in your trunk is completely dead, that's when you give Joe Pesci a call. Norman comes across another ghost of his past in the ending.
I should have killed you in my womb!
What's the matter, Norman? You're not a girl, are you?
I'm not embarrassing you, am I?
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Kill yourself before you kill others.
Oh my God, the Scoleri brothers!
And take a double shot when Norman finally kills off his mom and her boyfriend with poison tea.
What is it? What's happening?
He's poisonous.
Well, I see that Norman Bates has learned well from hanging out with the gang from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
What is it? What's happening?
Oh, William, what's going on? Is that you just drank a cup of poison?
Philadelphia!
Then take another double shot for the 2 times Norman looks through his peephole. And I'm sorry, I find it hard to believe that Norman's been using this peephole for 4 movies and has never once gotten caught. Well, I can fix that.
Get out of here, you nosy little pervert, or I'm gonna slap you silly! Oh, you're cooking, Frankie!
And on the nudie watch, we not only get a boob shot from Norman's ill-fated girlfriend, but one from Norman's mom as well. Boy, that brings me back, because seeing Olivia Hussey's cleavage in Romeo and Juliet back in my 9th grade English class, oh man, that was a formative moment for my manhood, I tell you what. I'm sorry, what? She was 15 when she made that movie? On the enjoyableness continuum scale from Bull to Bruce, Psycho 4, The Beginning, may not be the best TV spin-off of Psycho out there, but it sure as hell isn't the worst, and checks into room number 8 out of 10. Maybe I'm mad to give this movie such a high rating, but then again, we all go a little mad sometimes. See, because that's the line from the Psycho. I'm Jesse Schaefer, JoBlo.com, and if you want to find yourself another unnecessary sequel to a Hitchcock movie made for the Showtime network, perhaps you'd like to see The Birds 2, Land's End, as directed by Alan Smithy. Oh, right. That's the name that directors use when their movies are so bad that they don't want to be credited for them. You know what? Forget I even brought it up. Just go watch Birdemic again.
JoBlo, he sure likes to drink a lot. JoBlo watches movie like the heroine. JoBlo.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.